Well, I'm saying that, or do they converge? Well, what I'm saying is that the statement that 0 is a radical difference. But it is partly in a relativistic context. In fact, these two have in common a very high percentage of the Laval content. And so if you take the whole universe of human industries, these two are very close together in this regard on the axis of Laval. But categorizing them separately,
almost always.
You have to describe everything into very similar. Only very similar in the fact that there was preparation.
Well, I would say these two are much, just on a cursory examination, having read the reports, that these are much more similar than either of them is to much of the Middle Stone Age or the Cherry. So if we're sort of drawing lines of differentiation. In technology.
This is certainly not.
This is not at all.
But I don't see why this can't be explained largely by the use of these
Little stuff.
Sure. Well,
because they're using entirely different.
What about all this business here?
Yeah, when they use cores, how you will destroy these cores, except by some kind of you can't do it. So therefore, we know that long before this problem in the nerve availability. Don't you think?
These are the things that really separate. That's right. You don't find this over there.
No. But you only find those because they're using small.
No, one problem is that at those sites, we have true Laval plate cores on material no bigger than this.
Yeah, well, that's the argument. You have a counterpart in this
Material.
small material of those usual things.
Well, this is AW3.
Also,
There's
yes.
I didn't put out further cores, but we've got tons of them, and they're illustrated.
Yeah.
They're fully illustrated.
Yeah, there's stuff
But they're very rare.
No, as you go through time, this is
I did something very interesting yesterday. I took the Egyptian Museum collection, Site 2, and I graphed it. Came a little graph. It's awful close to true I don't know which faces it is.
and so they were using this material, but they were
I think it's a
using the
concept
concept as well. Which is not
So, Desmond, the other thing is that Shiner says that you actually have big
We have to see,
which then disproves it.
In fact, I'll show you one when we go upstairs. The Hoffman flags, old past flags, the whole ring is, except for
That's
the
it.
Now, what distance apart are these? So, in terms of
Time, for example.
well,
space.
in
Oh,
space.
There's no difference in space.
Well, Hoffman has a much wider distribution, at least as far as we can judge from the literature. Kamombo, north of Kamombo, down to Second Cataract, nothing south of Second Cataract. Cormusum, as far as I can judge, goes from the southern end of the Second Cataract as far north as area, maybe 40
typical ones do.
You found nothing big like
No,
this.
there's nothing. Well, yes. Now in Egypt, up near Nag Hammadi, on the east bank, there's a site which has on geological evidence is approximately this age, very high Laval. Inscrapers, but one difference between these two, this one, and it is there are very few, if any, burns. We haven't run the analysis of even a preliminary count on that one, so I can only say that it has lots of blade tools, which is different from this, but it has shares in the characteristic of being essentially a flake industry with lots of Laval, classical Laval, yeah. It has no Hoffman in it. And it's essentially contemporary with a site which has a very high frequency of lava. I mean, of Hoffa.
Seems to me, paleoanthropologically, this is the most significant thing. People say volume is the extent to find areas which you have different traditions which are alleged to coexist.
South of the Second Cataract.
We actually have that almost everywhere in the world where we've worked in detail.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know, just any well-dug cave, it doesn't fit any pattern of this comes first and that second and third and so on. It never works that way. Everything is always upside down, repetitive, quote, intrusive, if I may quote one of your mentors at Cambridge, things like that. You know, because we don't, these ideas that we have don't seem to work on.
Yeah, well, I'm extraordinarily interested in the properties of variation, but there are very significant few situations where it is clearly established that variation is one of long continuing tradition, parallel tradition. That variation be complex. I'm fully aware. I spent a lot of time studying it, but the argument here, at least in my understanding, is that not only is there a great deal of variation of people making different kinds of stone industries at the same time, but that through time, through a number of millennia, the patterns remain parallel and distinct. And that I think is the strongest thing about
I don't think you can prove the latter so much as you can the former you can prove.
Sure. Well, the former is what
You
the
have to have a
comes.
lot of
The latter is
beautiful
a constant.
stratigraphy and well-occupied sites and so on to prove the latter. That's very difficult.
Yeah, but this is in a sense the arguments I've made from you, and it's an interesting argument.
I think the crucial problem is we don't have that good of control over our time dimension. And if I made a guess here, see, now there's a difference in opinion among us. I don't share Tony's view that there's a considerable time span in Hoffa.
Duration.
Duration, right.
Well, I didn't think that's considerable.
Well, there are some grounds for arguing that it is a relatively short interval of time compared to this. Now, it would be conceivable then that what we're really dealing with is a few hundred years to this, during which time this population was essentially not there.
Yeah.
And so it could have, and I would prefer to look at it that way rather than seeing that here these two populations living side by side, essentially doing this different.
Well, you're reading something into it. Why not just look at it as I mean, there are many ways, presumably, of posing hypotheses to explain it, but the question is that it's for sure that this is both older and had, let's say, moderate duration, right? And this has no direct antecedents and is subsequent to that. For how long?
Not very long, but at least one site.
Can you guess that it's as long as that or longer?
I think the total span of both of these things are about 5,000 years. And then, would you say longer than 5, 6, 7 for that?
This is close to 10.
Well, again, we have some difference of opinion among us about it.
Anyway. Longer than that, though.
Longer than
That's, we both agree about that.
You're talking about hundreds of years on that.
Well, no,
This is-
But you do it by factors. Is it by a factor of 2 or 5?
Does that mean it's not absolutely
Length
proven?
compared to that, using that as a
Yes,
base.
both precedes and succeeds.
No, that's not what I'm
That's
saying.
Well, I'm asking, it is absolutely
Yes,
proven.
it is.
relevant.
Well, it's
Okay.
absolutely proven in terms of we've understood and made our correlations correctly.
But what you have, if
Then you're happy
is
about it.
Yes, not
later.
Oh, yes, this
if that's later corpus, you've got a continuing tradition, and somewhere sort of in the latter, towards the end of it, you've got this thing.
No,
coming
this is
through.
earlier.
that's
No,
earlier.
vice versa.
No,
No,
towards the
no,
end.
not
Towards
older
the end of
than
the
that.
total.
It's not older than the
This-
beginning.
that
It's
would
only,
fit like in the middle.
only with
Older
the
than
latest
this.
stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
That would fit.
So that by that time you could be getting much more variation.
Well, certainly I'm
Side
interested
where
in
this
Fred's
could
idea
develop
that that's
from
simply a brief episode where some people started doing a different thing, rather than a long file, which is, I think, anthropologically problematic.
I don't know if one can view now as having a stable population. That is, when you find different assemblies, different industries, you have to account for it as the same
In
people
situ.
all of a sudden doing something different. I think we have very clear evidence in later periods of intrusions onto.
Yeah, well, I just said some
Valley
people
and
doing
then-
a different thing. I didn't say that necessarily the same people changing the thing to do. But
I mean, these
what you have
people, in fact,
documented
may
is a
have been
different
doing
thing.
Basically the same, have somewhere they
some
didn't
of our
even do
people
that.
didn't utilize some aspects.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting.
It's difficult to imagine as well when you've got into such a hospitable place as the Nile, anybody wanting to leave it to the desert. After the beginning of the late Pleistocene, yes.
Certainly by the end of, by 12,000, I would say the Tuareg yes. I think certainly our burials suggest there was an awful lot of Tuaregs.
Yeah, no, that's...
There's no special environmental setting or kind of micro adjustment that you can measure.
Both of these occur primarily in the cataract area, which is the best area of the Nilotic Archaeology. And we get both of them. The larger sites are either next to the cataract or very close to the cataract.
And they're both on the same side?
Both sides. It would be nice if one was on one side and one was on the other, but it doesn't work that way.
Do they have the same micro photographic settings?
Very much.
Just within sight of each other.
Yeah, they're within
So they're both on 5 and 6 sandbanks.
Oh, yes.
Plain.
They're
They're not on.
different in terms of side size.
Yeah.
They're very
Long.
Yeah, these are very linear and probably overlapping counts. And those are quite compact and with quite deep deposits. 60 centimeters of occupation with charcoal or gold outlines.
And there's no difference in the actual Nile level at that time with regard to what raw materials, outcrops.
No, because the pebbles were available from...
Still won't explain the strange awfulness of it anyway. Because those are just weird.
Could I show this memory?
Where's anything else like that?
Hangs on the peculiar
Outside of the
morphology of
Nile,
two soils.
something vaguely resembling.
Couldn't one apply some sort of
Strange thing.
study to the whole area and find out whether that matters? Obviously,
Nile's very
how much it matters. In terms of taxonomy, whether it really does split the thing into two units or just replace those.
As long as
They have large cores.
consistent,
But they're also small.
even if they, I don't know, it doesn't matter much. I've never seen most come up with my head. And I'd say, if
No,
you're
consistent as Egyptian sites.
I haven't seen system another way. I think what you have is, I saw big, rather narrow cultural parameters.
You might find a couple.
How do you make?
No, I'm saying, I always choose a supersite like
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah,
You know, the end product looks the same.
what the hell do you sit down and do all this for? Well, these industries are essentially extensive types. They are. They're.
No, I don't see it necessarily in terms of traditions.
Now, I guess the key point, I think, has to be
Inclusive of it, understand it's sort of
cultural factor.
No, not intrusive in the sense of
We had called on
people
this.
dragging in a new
not having relations.
No, what the history do
And it's interesting, the people in Egypt who have the Hoffa core as an important part of their technology also use a lot of it. It's very.
In fact, the farther north you go, in the sense the stronger the arms generally tend to get. The small cores
Well,
general way.
all that stuff this time.
This years ago,
specifically whether we had it.
Would you work them over and over and over and over and over again?
Apparently they did.
Yeah, see, it's all the other side.
I think there's a lot more happening. These people also have available these societies, but even there's some big places where they didn't say anything.
Very similar to it. Yeah, but the point is, They really want to know.
Because they have
I'd have to go back and look at the.
You know that what I showed you consistent and significant differences for blade and flake.
I'd almost wonder whether or not the big hall produced any
Some kind
related. They're really, they went out of their way to get small stuff.
So a lot more about
Yeah, exactly.
There are situations where I've been playing for where the two sides are vastly different sides. One might have been shown take typology back. I wonder about that because the frequency, as far as I can see going through this, the frequency of Nile separating, which is what this air decreases with increasing distance. And there's got to be something in that goes down. In fact, that's not getting past the cataract.
It's not all coming down now.
All of this,
This comes from, this is not body.
Wadi material studies
Like this. So it's the pericrate
This is Nile material. I don't think there's any red in here.
Okay, well, well, yeah, what you said is
Don't get it north of the cataract?
it peters out. You get it, but it increases in quantity. You know, in Nubia, this and is based on when you get up from it's 50, but it shows that these things better. The question is, they may be well, I can't argue that specifically because I don't know. It's a hypothesis.
Because the Nile that Jebel Sultan 60 years ago, there were huge concentrations of these they're very narrow.
But that's very interesting.
One of the 19th century archaeologists who worked back down this back in the pits. I suppose this is
That's very interesting because that means that they are making a conscious choice. I was wondering if the choice was conscious or is it based on
Yes, I know.
this is separated in time by 1,000 or so years. One views it as exclusively Nile, the other reduced attention.
very different.
Included all the pieces through you.
I don't remember where he's talking about.
Well, I'm sure it is, and I think it
Almost always.
no,
I'm
afraid this is
Graphically, it is. But there's some sediments in between.
Yeah, it's a different.
A smidgen.
Essentially, what the Iceland said was he thinks these are all essentially the same. Now, there's a good deal of typological difference, technological difference, and therefore, and there is a minor stratigraphic difference. And this is one of the differences.
Yes, this is us.
Now, it happens also that the radiocarbon just all agree with the stratigraphy. So they version of the dates. Yeah. So there's no way we can resolve the issue. It can't be resolved. It's actually the same.
Which is the stuff that's associated with the older bets?
This is more of the same, but it's more diversified.
Yes, I would, because I have in Egypt. It's called also rare, and it's at least as early as the earliest radiocarbon.
I had a few.
What is that?
I missed those somewhere.
Oh, yeah. About 18, 19.
It's just sort of more full blown and extensive, and there's a lot of
It's a larger collection.
little stuff, you know.
Little nonsense in it.
Where are these down?
I just feel like
All typically, if you notice, all typically dihedral acid, so almost all of them, rather than straight acid.
I really don't get it.
See, the explanation to assume that these were all done originally, people were thinking, to assume that all this was done by different people, and they are so different, living say 50 meters apart. It was. Well, I know about culture.
Well, they live in 50 or 100 meters apart
At the same time, well, but that's what we don't know. We can't control.
the very poor. They always will be at this kind of level. You get British Army and Bedouin in a Hararib, basically contemporaneous, as far as archaeology is concerned.
British Army.
Wouldn't you?
We do certainly in that one area.
Yeah. Plus Israeli Army will come out.
Yeah, the only way you're going to be able to tell the difference is the numbers on the shells. It's certainly true, because some of those shells that we picked up were British.
Comes off a little crooked like this, directly where it touches the hip, space, and then retouch near the base. Possibly, so these are really fine. Fragments can be what is used as a functional point. The cores run
No.
and the whole line of this whole platform cores
Anywhere between 4,000 and 1,000. Did you go 50 times?
several years each case too small.
Are they absolutely straight, regular hurricane labels coming down with double-ended torpedo shots? You can't do it. No way. I'm not sure you can. No, it's impossible to get that kind of control with anything.
But these are very, you don't find these over there.
So these are usually our professional ladies.
A lot of this stuff doesn't exist over here.
Each side looks like each other side.
But you have most, how many sites are there?
Each side shows the tweak essentially.
Yes, I have to stay. Yes,
each one looks like it's a base camp.
Is there any material used at the command as opposed to
The Ghanaian seems to use larger. Yes, that was the
That might be a significant thing.
I did measure cores. I measured about 5,000. Yeah, I heard people were waiting on it. I found people sitting around for 7 months. It was a continuous. The earliest was on about 35 or 40 centimeters. They dropped all the way down. Besides the fact that one of them
Is there a general, do you know as a
One's back towards and one's placed the same size. We've also gotten out some of these skeletons that we had in Jebel Sahaba that show you what some of the competition was like. Why don't y'all come down? Nobody worked in Israel. Actually, I saw it. I think I've heard that within the structures. Alex is there, I'll tell you why. Did you know that Frank? You know McGregor? Yeah. Because you couldn't get into. Are they finished up their negotiation? Yeah, they're back. Oh, they're back. Yeah. They came back about 3 weeks ago. I'm asking which very good. They won't be there. I'll tell you first. They're not be there. So that's why I wanted to see you first. Maybe we should present it to the end of summer. This is only for sure. I'll have to go out. Listen, yeah, it's a thing that Morris was working on in Turkey, something serious. So, you know, they're building buffers there. No, it's not just it looks like you're still, I don't know. You know, this is a good question. Maybe between you two. I suspect it's because there's no loss in the site. It's the only solution. I think this sort of thing has got to be there. And you have lemmings now. Well, yes, perhaps, except we have to maintain control. If you've got it this size, and you've got it in what amounts to a check, you can put it in the angles correct. But if you've got it this size, you can't. I suspect not.
Yeah, I saw some of the
I didn't even throw them because they were halfway left from my lab when I left the SMU. During the time that we were students, I left the real college facilities and I was on the left, I told them to do that and then I told them that we were going to close things down because we were leaving the yard.
I went by there about a month after you were there.
Yeah, that's his children. Come on, take care of his children. Anyways, it turned out that after we left, these things in school were
They had a surveyor.
There's no possibility that some of those couples, that these people might have been buried in
Chips call where they make. Nothing ever came of What are you getting on the tape? I'm not sure. This yellow material is the same thing. Yeah, one big fat one with about a 260. He's got that in his office.
No, those aren't mine. Is
This must be, this is from Delaware. Wow. Nobody on the nose.
when they get down to this side,
Has to give, doesn't it?
I originally made this one.
There's no reason why.
I have a series of questions. They're made by the solver.
Well, there's some questions. You see, the blade and the micro blades that come off these things are very, very.
Of course, in Mexico, they're getting too. They're very retouched. Smaller than that, but it's longer.
This is rather similar in some respects to the size of it. This is very small too. Also to the interior size of the never goes much
Some of the conference stores,
These two, those size, 50 feet apart.
Measurable.
The same structure.
And you do, but you don't have contemporaneous from day to day.
I may be up there.
Yeah, fight the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
That's the one I mean.
Yeah, those are the pieces that's less than full size.
We never saw us coming in. We went out. This is one of the nice things about very clear.
How's it going, Carl?
What's your name?
Say something.
We're recording the little.
This is very well. 20% too.
Nothing ever gives it.
So remember, this is Marshall complaining about the high school.
It's all,
May I interrupt you a second? We have one more housekeeping chore to do. We have arrangements to go to lunch to the North Park Inn today, and we will, our transportation, we're going in cars for our student participants here. And if I could read the names of those, and you could kind of find out who you're going with, so we don't have any, reduce the confusion thing at the outside. Carl Butzer, Desmond Clark, Garth Sampson, Philip Smith. We'll be going with Kathleen Gilmore. Kathleen, would it be asking too much if y'all kind of get assembled and then
You got them Volkswagen?
okay.
I've got to stay here and move these artifacts.
We've got a couple of Volkswagens there. They're not really going in Palestine. Glenn Cole.
Yeah.
And Craig Gable. Will you go with Frank Cervello? Frank's here.